What's up, friends? Let's get our extended messages. I'm going to try and talk over the air while still maintaining my normal chill. Let's verify. This is going to be a daily grind, right? So it'll release later down the road. But it's actually going to give some additional clarity to the messages earlier in the day. We were talking about an overarching energy of remembering, recall. It's a very strong connection to the Akashic Records and one's deep sense of knowing and trusting and what often comes out in like being a certain way of doing things or living one's life. It's almost like practicing moderation or, sobriety to a degree, right? Self-moderating. It's not overspending. It's knowing when to maybe be a bit more conservative. It is not, maybe it is overeating. It is knowing when you've had sufficient and, leave some for another day, if you will. Sometimes this has to do with I think about business goals, sales goals. You always have numbers that you're wanting to hit. But sometimes you can be too aggressive, right? I think about doing email marketing. Sometimes you're too aggressive and they end up wanting to unsubscribe, right? Because you're sending me too many messages. It's overwhelming, right? Just get rid of it. Get it out of my face. This is in different areas of life, right? Too much of your energy, right? Too much of this, too much of that. You're learning how to be or remembering what are the right steps to being a good manager, and that's different in every area of life, right? Different responsibilities, different investment needed, different type of investment required. So it kind of keeps you in this chameleon phase of adapting to your environment or the circumstances or whatever's at play in order to create alchemy, because the memory in a simplistic way is like the recipe, knowing the right alchemical balance of energy, right? How much push to add, how much pull, if you will, sweet spot, right? Which goes along with our midday messages. So I feel like that aligns, right? Moving into water energy, it is kind of like feeling your way through it. It's an art of sorts, right? In business, knowing, okay, that's good. And it's just something that you feel. So something makes me feel, I get this energy of security and that that's starting to set in, even if it's with this remembrance. Remembering sometimes what the feeling is, what it feels like no, I remember this is what it feels like. So allowing oneself to ease in, could be to indulge, whatever that is for you, something that you're doing because you remember. You're either allowing this from someone else or you're allowing it from with yourself. I don't know, it's going to look different for everyone. Yeah, it's giving constants, those things that are constants. Could even be part of your routine, commitments, It's like getting an oil change, right? Those things that have to be done regularly. It gives maintenance, whether preventative maintenance or just general maintenance, the things that you have to do. So it's like any relationship, right? If there's no contact, well, there's no point of contact or connection, then there's no energy being placed into whatever the relationship is. So this is kind of remembering. This could be remembering a contact, remembering something is being remembered. I don't know why this feels like something that has maybe been done. This could even be information, mail, something like that, which could indicate a message. I'm also hearing something about a picture. Okay, there's something about interest. I don't know why I feel like somebody's going to contact you. They're showing interest or demonstrating interest. And something makes me feel like this is like in your skills. They're interested in seeing your skills, seeing what you got, use of whatever it is that you do. I don't know why I just kind of feel like you're either the person that, I don't know, it gives a little bit of intimidating energy. But like somebody's really, really skilled. Like somebody's very, very good at what they, this is, yeah, I just heard the GOAT. This is like the master, the GOAT. Somebody is, they rule, they have a rulership or domain in whatever this area is. They're very, very, very good at it. Very responsible is what I'm getting as well. Coming in this after, and this is how you're showing up, or this is how someone opposite you is showing up. Probably attracting people to you that are like this. Because that's kind of like that type of an authority. People know that authority. They're very responsive to it. So something makes me feel you could be receiving some sort of a response. Yep. Sagittarius, Pisces. This is kind of like, I don't know why I feel the energy of like reverence or respect. There's something about like everybody needs that time. I know everyone needs, this could be like quiet time. There could be something of that nature. It could also be like, I don't know, if it's giving a little bit of break. It feels like when you get off of work, everybody needs time to decompress. That's what this feels like. Understanding that. Something like that. Yeah, wow, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I just heard nailed it. Something's going to be like right on the money. I don't know if this is like a application or if this has to do with like the way you apply yourself. You know, sometimes this is when you're studying something or someone. This can be like getting to know a person or about a certain topic. Maybe it's an industry. But when you are learning something, there's a way that you do that where, especially if you're dealing with someone who has a high level of expertise, they know whether or not you'll work out. It's just kind of this, it's just an experience thing, right? Sometimes that's like the situation in our relationships too, or like friends, like, I don't really feel like we would get along very well, right? Like you can kind of tell those situations with which you'll match up, right? Business and everything, right? This is a job, I can handle it, or I'm not really quite sure. That's what I feel like is kind of like understanding if there's a skill set there. Some of you, there's something significant coming up too about like children and testing. So I don't know if you are like testing your kids to see, it gives like aptitude, fortitude. Maybe it even has to deal with like diligence or follow through, because when you're looking at like, I don't know, I don't really look at it as like job placement, but it's really kind of like skills assessment, career path. Sometimes you have to shape that because people don't know what all is available to them. But for example, you have some people who they're not maybe mentally stimulated. That could be like the attention span is short, so they can't do things maybe on screen that require focus, but they're more tactical or hands-on, and if you give them a project to do, can they complete it, right? And looking at the skill sets that may be more inclined towards like a trade, if you will, or what could be like apprentice type things. And sometimes this is like even you and your own expertise, right? Thinking about like a protege, if you will, or just kind of like an understudy, like where are the capabilities there, even if it's just kind of like someone who is adept to learning, who would pick up on or grasp easily. This can even be like getting to know you, getting to understand you. You tend to be more inclined to put in consistent work, energy, or effort where you see results. They understand me, they get me, I don't have to teach them, right? They already know. So I feel like, yeah, in one regard or another, you're either establishing this, or you are like, this has to do with like, I'm kind of starting to see my messages are like always evolving, and I'm grateful because I feel like it's a product of like my own personal evolution and willingness to self-develop and grow. But I'm seeing this through like a microscope, and I see it like close up, right? Which can be like the mundane things where you're trying to maybe like choose a service that you're going to go with, and am I going to go with this one, am I going to go with that one, and getting like the specs or the details. Maybe it's making a purchase and making sure that everything, doing your due diligence, if you will, getting comps, whatever it is that you do when you do what you do. But on the other side of doing this, it does take skill, and when you've had enough experience in your own damn life, it becomes like a part of like who you are. It's very valuable to you. So when it comes to like things or people that maybe throw off your routines or like put a cramp in, what could be even like your energetic flow, your, where now I'm tired dealing with you, type of energy. But I feel like you are getting to in your relationships, and it feels like you're seeing some results where it's not requiring, maybe it is kind of like, you don't have to spend a bankroll. You don't have to, be invested in, X amount of years. But you're able to, you have the skill, the knack, or the hack, if you will, for being able to determine or assess if there's value there, if there's a fit, if the job, if it pays, is it going to pay what I need, right? Is it going to take care of, what's the quality of service that I'm going to, that all of that good stuff, right? So midday is kind of like microscope, is kind of like looking at what could be like certain relationships, or again, the way I'm seeing my job, when that paycheck hit, what about with those situations? This is where you getting up to, it feels like that up close and personal energy. Take the microscope back some, get a little bit of maybe it is a broader lens, and you look at how we're seeing this in different things in the world. And this can be like gratitude for privileges that you have. Glad I have the ability to do this. I'm grateful for that, or for this person. Grace here. I'm thankful things worked out this way. Deeper than gratitude, it can also indicate like recognizing what could be like the most important things in life, right? And throughout different situations, like seeing this is actually more important to me than that was. This actually means more to me. It feels like discoveries of some sort within oneself, your own energy, great qualities that you have. These are amazing qualities that you have, right? So you have some amazing qualities. I feel like you know that, and I also kind of get like it's flowing. It's felt in your energy. So other people also connect with you in a way that's like, wow, this is a person that has some amazing qualities, right? Yeah, there's her gifts. So it feels like the gift of like being in contact with, present with your energy, it's worth something to someone, right? End of the day, that's where the Sagittarius and Pisces energies comes in. And things are either working, and it feels like there is alchemy, it's time. Someone knows it's time to, this could be like to say something, to do something. It's very, like, it's made known that it's time. And this can be like to work on something, right? It feels like there's some sort of a lesson that must be applied. So it's time to apply whatever the lesson is that has been learned. It's going to be intuitive. Okay? You got angels around you, in case you wonder. I feel like you know that because there's like little ways that I feel like they kind of work in or give you signs or indications. Sometimes this can be like seeing a sign, or maybe it is kind of like a confirmation number of sorts for you. Some could be significant about a confirmation number for somebody. Some about a confirmation number. I heard double dribble. Somebody's bouncing 2 balls. This could be managing multiple tasks, obligations. Be careful not to overextend, okay? Be careful not to overextend. That means don't offer, don't bite off more than you can chew, don't offer more than you can give. Also, don't withhold more than you should, you know. Don't hold back when God says it's time to give. And that's something that's where this is coming from. That's coming from Ajna chakra, your brow chakra, third eye. You're going to know. Your spirit is going to tell you. You're going to feel it. But we always have the spirit is subject to the prophet, so we always have the authority to progress the plans of the spirit, or we can deny them. That's the privilege of free will. But usually it is very telling as to whether or not we've overcome ourselves. If we haven't, then denying the spirit when it gives light to the will will usually result in some sort of a blockage, denial, or a setback on the path ahead. Meanwhile, if we can give rise to the spirit when it demonstrates to us what must be accepted for perfect alchemy, there will be some sort of what feels like passage, progress, or overcoming. It feels like it's almost this energy of like making it to the next level, next step, something like that. Forward motion, if you will. Sometimes that can indicate like agreement, progression. That's what I have for now, guys. I love you. I hope these messages have benefited you. That's it for your daily grind, right? Just a little bit of Joe, but definitely feel like we're getting more into the subconscious. But it's almost this energy that I feel is almost like pulling from whatever you've been using to program the subconscious, pulling that and using it, incorporating it into your like daily world. So the subconscious, whatever the new programming is creating what feels like the conscious now is what I would call it. It's the best thing I know how to call it for sake of better words. But Sagittarius, Pisces, those are the cards that came out, major arcanas. Expect this end of the day result, if you will, to be very clear. I don't know why it's giving like, I just heard instant pot. There could be something significant about an instant pot, but I'm getting like something is almost like knowing instantly. It kind of gives like when something happens, it can be like green lights, but all lights turn green. Okay, I just heard text go green, but that's what it seems like. Communication turns like, and this can just be like communication in terms of like receiving signs, messages, like knowing like all systems are go, things are good. It can be what that is in a general sense, but I get an energy of like all green lights as being an indication of that being like the right thing to go, and this being almost like instantly or suddenly. So Anticipate something equivalent that I feel your knowing recognizes as being confirmation. So that'll make it very clear to you. You will understand, okay? Better by and by. I love you guys. Like, follow, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll talk to you all again later. We'll probably do a late night, maybe later, maybe around that time with you Westerners. We'll do a later check-in. We'll do a live with you guys and hopefully get our messages for extended tarot messages. I love you. Bye for now.